Welcome back, viewers, to round 6 of the EKS here at Daytona Sandown Park, where we're using the alternate forward layouts, and you'll join us in this video for the second top split race of the day. This is where all the top drivers in the EKS race together in one big race, and Jules Larkin has put it on pole for this race, courtesy of setting the fastest lap time in race number 1. So he's now starting on pole alongside track local Archie Bullard, with then Alexandros Anagnostopoulos starting up in P3 alongside Charlie Foster. Jack Simmons is in starting in P5 alongside Jamie Gooden, who is hoping for better things in this race, with Luke Nick starting as the top senior driver in P7 alongside Daniel Varlan. Alfie Sharp is then starting in P9 alongside Philip Babalau, who started on pole in the first race but did not have a great race, and is starting now down in P10 for this race as a result, with Elliot Chiluzzi then starting in P11 for this one alongside Carlos Amaris on row 6 of the grid. Callum Mendelo and Simon Fuller are then starting together on row 7 of the grid, with Callum's teammate Louis Draper starting behind him in 15th position. He's got Ollie Cooper-Welton for company on row 8, with Jack Whitehouse and Graham Fernandez rounding out the grid. Let's hand over now to our commentators, Tom Dillon and Ed Hunter, who will take you through the race.
Archie Bullard and Jules Larkin preparing to share the front row here in split 1 at race 2 as they make their way around turn 8, now getting ready to get this race underway. Archie on that outside line as they make their way down into turn 1. We wait for the green flag, and there it is. It's lights out and away we go, and it's a good start for Jules Larkin. Looks to cover off Archie Bullard into turn 1, achieves that just about. Now covers him off as they make their way into turn 2. Slotting into third position is going to be, at the moment, I believe, Jack Simmons out of the mess. No, it's not. He's fallen down a couple of positions. It's Anagnostopoulos in third, with Charlie Foster trying to attack him. We've got a spin in the background, Ed.
Yeah, it was a spin just behind Luke and Nick, I think, and Carlos Amaris and Elliot Chiluzzi getting a little bit collected in there. No time to react whatsoever, and it was just an absolute logjam through turn 3 and 4 there. But everyone seems to have mostly survived in one piece then as the field rushes towards turn 6.
Luke and Nick able to gain a position, as well as Jamie Gooden falling down the order ever so slightly here. It's going to be Archie Bullard in the lead of this race ahead of Jack Simmons. He got the lead as they made their way down into turn 4. Cracking little scrap between the two of them. Now Jack is all over the back of that second place runner Jules Larkin as they go now down into turn 3 once again, turn 2, excuse me, and Jack can't quite find a way through. We've got a spinner in the background again. Jack Whitehouse is slow from all of that. I can't quite see who was caught up in the melee. Carlos Amaris goes down at the inside and gets past Daniel Varlan. Now looks to attack Graham Fernandez as they make their way down into the right-hander of turn 4, but actually in the inside line, able to get through is Daniel Varlan once again. So Carlos loses out as the field make their way into turn 6 for the second time in this race. Jamie Gooden watches. Jules Larkin goes down the inside line and take out Archie Bullard. Archie Bullard's round. Jules just dived down the inside line, completely missed his braking spot and took out Archie Bullard. That'll be a penalty, no doubt, as Jamie Gooden makes his way through. Luke and Nick looking to go down the inside himself, but can't quite find a way through. So at the moment, it's Jack Simmons in the lead of the race through the melee.
Yeah, you saw Simmons was getting very, very close to Larkin. Larkin moved to the inside, locked up brake way too late, as we see just behind Graham Fernandez. Oh, a big crash. Somebody in the wall there at turn 2.
Yeah, I didn't quite see who that was, but everyone else making their way through. Callum Benzelo is under a lot of pressure from Ollie Cooper-Welton as they make their way now down into Vale. Carlos Amaris on the inside line. He has to back out of it, can't quite stay alongside Ollie Cooper-Welton. And meanwhile, at the front of the field, I've just seen Jack Simmons adjust his GoPro. He's in absolute cruise control at the moment, 4 tenths in the lead of the race. Here goes Carlos 3 wide with Callum Benzelo, as well as Ollie Cooper-Welton goes down the inside line, gets past Callum Benzelo. Benzelo goes back through though, and Carlos Amaris can only watch it unfold. Frustrating for him as Jamie Gooden into second position then, with Jack Simmons in the lead of the race.
Yeah, side by side with Amaris and Ollie Cooper-Welton, but Cooper-Welton holding on then to that.
Oh no, Jack Simmons is round.
Oh dear.
That was into turn number 3. Jack Simmons just on the brakes. I think he locked up, sent himself round. So that's Jack Simmons dramatically out of the race. I don't believe there was any help as Jack Whitehouse is now overtaken by 2 carts. In fact, the recovering Archie Bullard being one of them. We'll be keeping an eye on his recovery drive throughout the course of the race as he goes down the inside and finds his way through. But Jack Simmons, most importantly, is now out of this race. So no one wants to lead it. Jamie Gooden now in the lead.
Yeah, and you saw Luke and Nick just letting Philip Babalau past him there in all of that chaos after Simmons spun out. So that's the second leader we've seen getting into difficulties there. and everyone trying to work with each other to not lose too much ground with the leaders, but others deciding let's fight it as Graham Fernandez is leading a train of cars and going side by side into turn 2, and that is really not going to end well if they're not careful there, and Jack Whitehouse getting frustrated at the back of this pack.
Yeah, and it's frustrating for Archie Bullard as well, who's all over the back of Jack Whitehouse now. He goes down the inside of Graham Fernandez, and Jack Whitehouse able to find his way through, and now into Vale will try and complete it. Now Jack Simmons on the inside line of Anagnostopoulos by the looks of things, and gains 1 spot at least, so he finds himself up into 6th position. Fair play to Jack for that one. But meanwhile, back to the Archie Bullard fight, who gets past Graham Fernandez. This is really frustrating stuff for Archie, who is sifting his way through the field relatively well, but also under a lot of pressure. Graham Fernandez bumped out the way and into the wall on the left-hand side.
Yeah, just no room at the last corner. Luca Nick continuing to gesticulate at Charlie Foster in front of him. So he's clearly not happy there, but you can tell Jules Larkin in second behind Jamie Tyler Gooden, our new race leader, looking a little bit tentative after that contact with Bullard. You can tell he's not quite got the confidence that he had earlier in this event, and he's trying to just hold on to second rather than fighting Jamie Tyler Gooden in front of him, which is good news for Jamie because he can just hold on to that lead and stroke this DMAX home, and hopefully not be, from his point of view, not be challenged too hard behind.
And battle for second position between Philip Babilal and Jules Larkin. We're trying to keep an eye on that battle. I do believe Jules has received a penalty for that Archie Bullard incident, so this is effectively not going to be for second position in the end. Charlie Foster sitting in third. We'll hope that he can climb up to Jules Larkin and maybe get past him as well. Meanwhile, Luca Nick continuing to pile that pressure on. Carlis and Ollie Cooper-Welton continuing to battle. This is very important for second place in the senior class, of course. Luca Nick at the top of that order as it stands. And Carlis still under all that pressure. We can see from behind Carlis's cart actually that Ollie Cooper-Welton is really keeping him honest.
Yeah, Cooper-Welton doing a very solid job so far. Meanwhile, look at Luca Nick still trying to get up into 4th position, and Charlie Foster, who, remember, got that podium despite the fact that his cart broke down right at the end of the first race in Split 1. And now continuing to do a very good job as Babilal and Larkin fighting away, and looks like Larkin still defending, holding on by the skin of his teeth to second position, but Babilal really trying to pull out the stops, trying to go around the outside into turn 4 then. And
now Jack Simmons is catching up to the back of this field a little bit. Luca Nick just ahead of him. If he can get back into the top 3, that's a remarkable recovery for Jack Simmons. Meanwhile, let's look at the drone, because Philip Babilal is forcing Jules Larkin to go very defensive. Philip to the outside line, can't quite find a way through on Jules Larkin, who defends very well into turn 6 and through turn 7. Philip has to look to the inside line into turn 8. That's an aggressive move. It's a Philip Babilal signature move into turn 8. Wonderfully aggressive on the inside line, dives his way through, but still has work to do here. Charlie Foster senses an opportunity down the inside line, and is he able to squeeze his way through as well? We're going to go 3 wide briefly, because I think Luca Nick getting involved as well. Charlie Foster on the inside line, Jules Larkin makes a mistake, no contact there between the two of them. Luca tries to go to the outside line, but again not a way through, and that allows Jack Simmons on the inside line to find his way through. A remarkable sequence.
Indeed, yeah, you saw Larkin just getting a bit out of shape, and that created that opportunity for Simmons. Luca Nick not quite able to take advantage as he would have hoped, but this battle is going to continue to rage on as they'll just about make it through turn 6 without hitting each other. But yeah, Babilal very aggressive there. That started that whole sequence of events, which he's played very much into his hands, and his old rival Jamie Tyler Gooden is 1.4 seconds up the road ahead of him, but continuing to lap very quickly. So Tyler Gooden just needs to keep doing what he's doing, and he should be able to hold off Philip.
Well, this train is really entertaining. Jamie Tyler Gooden still in the race so comfortably, as here goes Jack Simmons. He goes to the inside line and able to find his way through, but here comes Jules Larkin back at him into Vale. They'll stay side by side all the way through Vale, down onto the back straight. Jack just about holds on to his cards. He's so close to the wall on driver's left, goes immediately defensive into turn 8, but Jules Larkin will end up losing that position. Luca Nick now senses his opportunity to the outside line. He goes, but can't quite find a way through. Tries to get that better run into turn 1, but Jules Larkin, I think, has it collected for now.
Yeah, and Jack Whitehouse there, I think, has just been overtaken by, is that Archie Bullard ahead? No, it's Alfred Shrub, I think, that he's caught up to, actually, sorry, in the battle for 11th, and they're all just starting to close a little bit on Ollie Cooper-Welton then. in that battle just outside the top 10, so some excellent action a bit further down. But at the front, very, very thrilling as Lukinik continues to chase down Jules Larkin for 5th position. Simmons and Foster especially starting to get away in those positions just on and off the podium.
There goes Lukinik, had such a big overspeed on Jules Larkin down into turn 6, but wasn't quite able to find the inside line. Carlos Armanis on the outside of Callum Bentolo goes now to the inside into turn 7 to complete this move. He's a little bit frustrated. Callum gives him the room. Now Carlos has to cut the lines across. Callum stops up on the apex a little bit, but it gives Carlos the run down into turn 1. He's side by side. Ollie Cooper-Welton involved as well, but Carlos Armanis is through in a tidy move. Callum Bentolo not much to do with it. Ollie Cooper-Welton now trying to fancy his chances of getting past Callum Bentolo in the last 3 minutes of this race, but isn't able to find a way through just yet.
Yeah, certainly very, very tense there. Not quite sure where Bendelo came from. He's really making a late charge here from a little bit further back on the grid. But up front, Jamie Tulligan still leading by 1.3 seconds, and Lukinik drafting in just behind in the wake of Jules Larkin, and not quite able once more to mount a challenge into turn 6. Sun going down in the background, time running out, and Tyler Gooden has been just playing it perfectly while those around him have lost their heads down.
Lukinik still putting a lot of pressure on Jules Larkin as they now go through into turn 2 and up through turn 3. Luca is pointing forward. I think he knows that they really need to work together in the last 2 minutes of this race in order to catch up to that top 3. Charlie Foster occupying 3rd spot at the moment, with Philip Babalal in 2nd and Jamie Tulligan in the lead of the race. So I don't envisage here Lukinik going particularly aggressive in the late stages of this race. I can see a driver going very aggressive behind Graham Fernandez though, as Graham Fernandez under all sorts of pressure.
Yeah, he certainly is. That's the battle to basically not finish last, but both of them pushing as hard as anything out there, which is great to see. But Lukinik, meanwhile, just regrouping behind Larkin as they cross the start-finish line with just 90 seconds left on the clock then as they do so. And Lukinik is looking a little bit desperate here. He's not going to work with Larkin if there's not going to be enough time for them both to gain positions. It's going to be every man for himself now.
Oh, Graham Fernandez in the wall. I didn't quite see how he ended up there, but Graham Fernandez does end up into the wall, and he's going to have to get pushed out of that barrier. That's a little bit frustrating for Graham Fernandez. We'll get a replay of that, try and see what happened. Meanwhile, Jack Whitehouse on the back of Alfie Schrupp, I believe, will be heading into the last lap shortly.
I think Fernandez contact from Chesley, who was just behind him. So there was I think Chesley may have done a bit of a takeout there, and that might be looked at later as Whitehouse going up the inside into 6 on Alfie Schrupp, but Schrupp, from Switzerland, holds his line, and oh, look at that, that's Bullard trying to get involved as well, just outside the top 10 there. So Whitehouse just about holds on, but gets a huge drift at the final corners. It's all getting very, very messy.
Last lap of the race, and it's Charlie Foster in 3rd position, Philip Babalal in 2nd, Jamie Tulligan in the lead. What a drive it has been for Jamie Tulligan. He makes his way into turn 6 now. It's been picture perfect since he took advantage of those race leaders tangling with each other. Makes his way into turn 8 now, and it's going to be Jamie Tulligan who takes a victory here, showing his class once again. Jamie Tulligan, checkered flag across the line, and well, what a drive as well from our 2nd and 3rd place runners. No less Charlie Foster, of course, in that 3rd position. Jack Simmons just a little bit unlucky to miss out. Lukinik will finish just behind Jules Larkin. Not really able to find a way through at the end, but I don't think he was showing too much intent.
Jamie Tulligan then ended up being crowned victorious at the end of that race, taking the victory by precisely a second ahead of Philip Babalal, who set the fastest lap of the race in the process, coming home in P2 with a 46.0. He'll be starting on pole position for the next race as a result. Charlie Foster ended up just holding off Jack Simmons, coming home in P3 ahead of his teammate in 4th, with then Lukinik inheriting P5 off of Jules Larkin at the end of that race. Jules Larkin received a 30-second penalty for his takeout on Archie Bullard on lap 2 of the race. He got the penalty for not letting Archie back through. He shot down to 16th place as a result, with Luke inheriting P5 off of him, and Alexandros Anagnostopoulos inherited P6 in the process. Carlos Armanis ended up finishing 2nd in the senior class behind Lukinik and ended up finishing 7th overall, whilst Callum Bentolo and Ollie Cooper-Welton finished 8th and 9th overall, with both of them receiving a 1-point penalty for the contact which they made with each other when they were battling with each other earlier on in the race. Alfie Sharp ended up finishing in 10th place, whilst Jack Whitehouse and Archie Bullard were the next two cars on the road, but both of them received 5-second penalties for bump and passes during that race. Jack's one was on Daniel Varlan, where Daniel actually ended up in the tyres coming out of turn number 2, and Archie's was for a separate incident with Simon Fuller towards the end of the race. So both of them have dropped down the field to 13th and 14th respectively, with Simon Fuller, after all of those penalties, jumping all the way up to P12, with Daniel Varlan then coming home in P15 ahead of Jules, who, like I say, got that 30-second penalty. Graham Fernandez got put in the wall, as we saw towards the end of that race. He ended up coming home in 17th place. Elliot Tuesday got the 30-second penalty for putting Graham in the wall, and he ended up down in 18th as a result. And then Tom Brown unfortunately was not able to take part in the race due to an injury which he sustained in qualifying.